All right, three things before we get started. One, I'm sorry I'm late. That's why I rescheduled for now because I had a doctor's appointment and I had to pick up my daughter. Two, the NFL is getting weird. And three, what the hell happened in Seattle last night? All that and more on a late running edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Let's go.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This Brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Time to get this party started. I didn't do this yesterday because I was thanking everybody for their prayers for my health and for my family. But I'm back and I get to do it this morning. Good morning. Welcome. Beg your pardon to the Taco Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. 11:04 is the time in the Eastern Time Zone, 4 minutes past the hour. In the Fanatics feedback zone, Nub Glory is the first one to stop by. Says the Eagles have to start winning again. They've lost 3 in a row. Can you believe that? We'll get to that later on. And my good friend Jolene Aldridge out of Seattle says, how about those Seahawks? Yeah, how about those Seahawks and that comeback win? As mentioned, we will get to that. And a whole lot more. James Harden winning with the Clippers? No, that can't be. Unfortunately, it is. Damn. This is a whip around presented by Fanatics. Michigan's sign-stealing case was posed to Alabama legendary coach Nick Saban, and Nick Saban says, we always change things up. That's all I wanted to know. Ahmed Fareed set to host Football Night in America with Maria Taylor going on parental leave. It's a boy. It's a boy, and Fareed will host the pregame studio show beginning Saturday, December 23rd, when NBC Sports airs a doubleheader. And Fareed has previously filled in for Taylor on Football Night in America and also subbed on other properties such as the Saturday night primetime Big College Countdown for the network's Big Ten football package. So they got a veteran. They're used to this. I say this jokingly. They won't bring old Snowman aboard because I don't know. I actually know what the hell I'm doing. Brady points the finger at Gardner Minshew after Damontae Kazee hit and suspension. Nobody likes seeing players get hurt, but it happened. But hard hits happen. Quarterbacks should not be throwing the ball in areas where they are exposing their own teammates to those type of hits. Coaches need to coach better. Quarterbacks need to read coverages and throw the ball to the right places. And defenders should aim for the right hitting areas. To put the blame on the defensive player all the time is just flat out wrong. Need better quarterback play. Mr. Brady, I cannot argue with your statement. Jay Spivey said it best so many times over. The worst coached position in football, no matter what the level, is quarterback. The worst coached position. And I'll take a slight dig, unless your name is Brock Purdy. Close quote from me. Well, speaking of Damontae Kazee, he is suspended for the rest of the season on the hit on Michael Pittman. Well, I was talking with somebody today while I was getting gas in my car, and they said, what about that hit on Michael Pittman? And I said, I hope they suspend him for the rest of the season. Bullseye. There you go. There you go. Bullseye. And the greatest player of all time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, underwent hip replacement surgery. Kareem said, quote, "You may have heard that Humpty Kareem had a great fall. It's true. I was at the Manhattan Transfer's final public concert at Disney Hall, ready to read a letter from Kamala Harris and provide some praise of my own for a group I love and admire, but I fell and was carted off to UCLA hospital with a broken hip. I'd like to say I'd fell while saving a child from plunging over a balcony, but I just tripped. Hard for me to accept that once world-class athlete just stumbled, but age is the great equalizer and humbles us all. Ain't that the truth? Now I'm a world-class patient in a bed convalescing from hip replacement like 450,000 other Americans per year." Close quote. The 76-year-old fell on Friday. Oh, man. The once world-class athlete is now convalescing, but I hope he recovers fully. I hope Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Captain Skyhook, the greatest player of all time, recovers. I hope he recovers. F you, LeBron. You're nowhere near the greatest and never will be. That's a whip around presented by Fanatics. Victor Locke, a.k.a. Vicala, joins us in the comments section. He says, what's going on, Snowman? What's going on with you, V-Lock? Glad to have you with us this morning. As mentioned, Nub Glory is here. Jolene Ulrich from Seattle is here. Victor Locke from Chicago. Hey, Nub Glory, where are you listening from? Where are you watching and or listening from? I want to shout you out properly and prove to people that a humble show like mine, which I feel is the best sports show you will ever hear and see, we're nationally syndicated and in some cases internationally syndicated. What am I talking about in some cases? Every day we're internationally syndicated. What the hell am I talking about? Take a break, and when we come back, Drew Lock. Yes, that Drew Lock led a late touchdown drive and stunned the Philadelphia Eagles into their third consecutive loss. And I'll tell you, and I'll slip in what that means for my San Francisco 49ers. All that and more coming up next. Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson rolls on, the late rolling edition, after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
transported to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the 4 Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. SNWMN Multimedia across all of our social media is the ID that you need. And thank you to my beautiful Dr. K for asking the question and providing the voiceover for that. All right, let's go to Seattle. Hey, Philadelphia, I got a question for you. What was that? I mean, I watched the game in parts because I have to take my daughter to work. And I'm doing live research for the radio call of the game winner last night. Drew Lock threw a 29-yard touchdown pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba, the fabulous rookie out of Ohio State. And the Eagles stun the Philadelphia Eagles. The Seahawks, I beg your pardon. Stun the Philadelphia Eagles by a final of 20-17. Drew Lock threw a back shoulder throw, and then Jigba caught it. What? What does this say? Does this say more about Seattle, or does this say a lot more about Philadelphia? I think the latter, but I'll get to that in a minute. Let's go through the stats. Drew Lock, 22 of 33, 208 yards. He had a touchdown. Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks, 19 carries, 86 yards, plus a touch. The Eagles offense rushed for 178 yards. Jalen Hurts was 17 of 31, 143 yards. He threw 2 interceptions. He also carried the ball 13 times for 82 yards and 2 touchdowns. There's a problem. And the problem is, as athletic as Jalen Hurts is, and I know he can carry the ball. I say the same thing about Lamar Jackson. I said the same thing about Jalen Hurts. I say the same thing about Kyler Murray and all these dual threat quarterbacks. I know you're a dual threat quarterback. Don't change from being a dual threat quarterback, but just think about becoming more of a pocket passer to add to all of that. 13 carries, 82 yards for Jalen Hurts. 13 carries, 82 yards for Jalen Hurts. I'm going to keep repeating those numbers until it hits home. And I'm going to say something that's going to really anger a lot of blinder-wearing Eagle fans. But my next 4 words are as follows. Jalen Hurts has regressed. Part of that is due to the departure of Shane Steichen, putting him in better positions to win and putting the Eagles offense in better positions to like really take control of games. But it's not working out. And I know for a fact that Cool McCain is going to go completely off tomorrow night on the Eagles Elite podcast. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, please do. Fabulous, fabulous show. I'm communicating with some people right now while I talk about this. But kudos to the Seahawks. Kudos to the Seattle Seahawks for being down. They were down 10-0. They were down 10-3 at halftime. They tied the score at 10, and then Philadelphia immediately took the lead 17-10. And I thought, when I saw that go-ahead touchdown, I thought game, set, match. Drew Lock said, quote, I think it was just the over-the-top feeling of you don't get very many moments. You don't have very many opportunities in this league, and with every opportunity you get, you need to be as ready as you can be, close quote. That touchdown occurred with 28 seconds left. And that's it was the longest touchdown drive of the season. James Bradbury got burned on that game-winning touchdown. And Julian Love made a second interception of the fourth quarter, picking off Jalen Hurts, intended a deep pass for A.J. Brown, and just getting his feet down in bounds. Julian Love said, quote, I was watching Brown the entire play. I was in the post. I saw a double move, and I just took off. I saw the ball floating, and I must be living right because I got my feet in, thankfully, close quote. He also picked off Hurts, Julian Love, into the end zone for a deep shot with Quez Watkins with 8:08 remaining in the money period to prevent the Eagles from extending their 17-13 lead. You know, last year you never saw, and I didn't watch many Eagles games. I watched a lot of the highlights, but you didn't see Jalen Hurts make those kind of mistakes in the money period. He made 2 of them last night. He made 2 big mistakes in the money period last night. You just don't see that from Jalen Hurts. And now you're seeing it more often. Think of the last 3 losses that Philadelphia has. They got blown out by San Francisco. They got blown out by Dallas, and then they blew a lead against the Seahawks. They blew a 10-point lead because remember, before halftime they led 10-0. Seattle gets a field goal, led 10-3. The Eagles led the entirety of the game until the final 28 seconds. And Philadelphia had 3 shots to extend the lead. 3 shots to extend a 17-10 lead. 1 in the third quarter, 2 in the fourth quarter. And they blew all those chances. They blew them all. How far is the slide going to continue for the Philadelphia Eagles? How far is the slide going to continue for the Philadelphia Eagles? I mean, granted, they've clinched the playoff berth, but now they're looking like a team that can't. That they're looking like a team that's going to fall into the 5th seed when they were the number 1 seed just 3 weeks ago. Let's take a look at the NFC playoff picture, shall we? Courtesy of NFL.com. The Niners, the Cowboys, and the Eagles in the NFC are all in. The Ravens are in as the number 1 slot. The 49ers have won the NFC West. They were the first team to clinch a playoff spot. And going to get the updated playoff picture here. And the Niners are the best team in the league. End of story. The Niners are the best team. The Niners are the best team in the league. I'll say it again. The Niners are the best team in the league. End of story. End of story. And they are stomping people on their way to Las Vegas. Niners are 11-3. The Cowboys and the Eagles are 10-4. Let me tell you what this loss by the Eagles mean for the 49ers. It means, if my math is correct, and I know I'm old and I'm gray, if my math is correct, the magic number is 2 to clinch the number 1 seed. Matter of fact, let's do some lifetime research on that right now. Because the Niners have already clinched the division. Not $1. If I'm correct, the magic number is 2. Because they beat the Cowboys and they beat the Eagles. All right? And the Cowboys and the Eagles both lost. So essentially, the Niners hold a 2-game edge. But the most simple formula for San Francisco is to win out and make sure they clinch the number 1 seed. They must win out and make sure they clinch the number 1 seed. Okay? Philadelphia is in the playoffs. They've clinched the spot, but they are sitting at the number 5 seed right now, which means they're going to go on the road. And their lead in the communicating with some other people. I'm jumping around here, folks, so I apologize for that. Seattle still has an outside chance of getting in. Let's look at the NFC playoff picture. That's before I got distracted and was talking to my boss. The Niners, Cowboys, and Eagles are in. The Lions are in. The Lions are the 3 seed. Bucks are 4. There are the other 2 division leaders. Vikings are in the 6th spot. Rams are in the 7th spot. The Seahawks are in the 8th spot right now. They're 7-7 along with the Rams, but the Rams have the tiebreaker. The Rams have the tiebreaker because they beat the hell out of the Seahawks twice. That is the wall facing the Seahawks right now. They have jumped to the 8th spot because of their win over Philadelphia. Other teams, Saints, Falcons, Packers, Giants, and Bears. What? The Bears are holding on. Eliminated the Panthers, the Cardinals, and the Washington Redskins. That's the NFC playoff picture. That's the NFC playoff picture as we know it right now. The Niners on the number 1 seed. They are on a roll. They've won 6 in a row. They are 11-3. The Eagles are 10-4. They've lost 3 in a row. Inexplicably, they lost 3 in a row because this game against Seattle was supposed to be a get-right game for them after they got blown up by the 49ers, after they got blown up by the Cowboys. They lost by 23 to San Francisco and 20 to Dallas. And they led the entire game in Seattle until the final 28 seconds when Drew Lock connected with Jackson Smith and Jigba for the winning points. How far down the slide is Philadelphia going to go? That's my question. How far down is Philadelphia going to fall before they realize, and I understand they've gone through a gauntlet of games, but hey, San Francisco did too. Remember, San Francisco lost 3 in a row, and everybody was counting them out. I'm not counting out the Eagles. I originally picked them in San Francisco to play for the NFC Championship, and it could still happen. But some things have got to shape up for Philadelphia, and I mean fast. The play calling, and I will use Cool McCain's words, and thank you, Cool McCain, for this and turning me on to this. The play calling on offense for Philadelphia has been god-awful. Period. It's been god-awful. That has to change. And then they give Matt Patricia defensive calling duties, and he did well for 59 and a half minutes. But he got burned by Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now what? That's all I got to say. Now what? Eagles, you got a lot to clean up, and you better clean it up soon. Very, very soon. Let me take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the AFC playoff picture, and then the Clippers have won 8 in a row? How? I'll explain when y'all get back.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Everything Boston. I love you, you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning. We're presented by BetUS.com. BetUS.com, where the game begins. The underrated Darkness has joined us. Good morning to you, my friend. Check out his channel and everything he's got going on. Lots of good stuff, lots of good chats there. And we're going to have to hook up and chop it up again, my friend. All right, the AFC playoff picture is what I wanted to look at really quick. And the only one that has clinched the spot right now is the Baltimore Ravens. They are the number 1 seed as of right now in the AFC. In the hunt, the Dolphins at 10-4, they lead the AFC East. The Chiefs at 9-5 lead the AFC West. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, 8-6, they lead the AFC South. But I want to talk about that for a moment. The Jaguars are sliding right now. They've lost 3 in a row. They have an injured Trevor Lawrence, and they just may slide out of the playoff picture. In fact, if things keep trending the way that they're trending, and y'all see the shirt that I'm wearing, in Week 18 at Lucas Oil Stadium, the Colts and the Texans game could potentially decide the AFC South title. Because the Jaguars are not playing well right now. Indy is trending in the right direction. The Texans have been there all year. All right. And CJ Stroud is one of the major reasons he's going to win Rookie of the Year going away. Going away. 3 wild cards are the Browns, the Bengals, and yes, you heard me correctly, the Indianapolis Colts. And the Colts may jump from 7 to 4. From the 7th seed to the 4th seed, excuse me, as I said, if things keep trending the right way and the Jaguars keep sliding the way that they're playing, the Colts have been galvanized. They're getting it. They're getting their act together. And kudos to Trey Sermon of the Indianapolis Colts, pinch hitting for Zach Moss, who was injured. Okay? Kudos to Trey Sermon with 92 yards and that rushing offense of the Colts that showed up against the Steelers. So Week 18, as long as the Texans and Colts keep winning and the Jaguars keep losing, and I don't wish losing on anybody, I'm just reading the trends right now. It's not good for Jacksonville. At the present time, it is not good for Jacksonville. Again, the 3 wildcard teams, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Colts. And the Colts kicked Pittsburgh out of the playoffs. Pittsburgh hasn't officially been eliminated yet. On the bubble, the Texans, the Bills, the Steelers, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers. The Patriots, Jets, and Titans are out. Weird to see the Patriots eliminated from the playoffs, isn't it? But Week 18 could be for the AFC South title, just like it was last year with Jacksonville and Tennessee. But this time it could be Houston and Indianapolis for the AFC South title. Who would have thunk it? Because I certainly wouldn't have. I got to be honest, I certainly wouldn't have thunk that. To the NBA now, and James Harden and Kawhi Leonard are actually working together? Huh? How the hell is that happening? And they've won 8 in a row. They've won 8 in a row. What? Apparently that's the case, as they blew out the Pacers 151 to 127 in front of 16,665 fans at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Clippers go to Dallas on Wednesday, and the Pacers host Charlotte, so that'll be a get-right game for the Indiana Pacers. Harden scored 21 of his season's best, 35 in the fourth, and the Clippers got 28 from Kawhi Leonard and 27 from Paul George for their league best 8 consecutive victory. Leonard said, quote, "It was fun to watch," close quote, about Harden's late flurry. Who cares? It's a Clippers. I'll say it again. Who cares? It's a Clippers. What the hell are we getting excited? What the hell are we getting excited about the Clippers for? I don't see a reason. Do y'all see a reason to get excited about? I'll put the question out to the chat right now. Do y'all see a reason to get excited about the Clippers? I sure as hell don't. I sure as hell don't. And don't really care. And don't really care. I know Clippers fans care, but I hate to say this about the Clippers and their fans, but first of all, y'all robbed San Diego of the Clippers. Okay? Second of all, the Clippers have only reached one conference final. One. Only one. Thirdly, James Harden bogarted his way out of Philadelphia to join the Clippers to do what? Have a great regular season again? He's already done that. He was wrongfully awarded the most valuable player in 2018. I said it. And I mean every word of it. I mean every word of it. I don't care what other people think. He was wrongfully awarded the MVP in 2018. I really do not care what other people think, but that's water under the bridge. People are getting excited about the Clippers winning 8 in a row, and for what? And for what? They haven't done a damn thing since they've been in Los Angeles. They haven't done nothing. They have done nothing. You understand that? So Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and James Harden are somehow working together. Let me pass this question down to everyone. Is that going to last? I know 8 in a row is still 8 in a row. I understand that. And kudos to them. It's December. Forgive me for being one of the ones to look at the big picture. But it's December, for God's sakes. I'm not buying this team if my life depended on it. I'm not buying this team, nor will I ever buy this team if my life depended on it. And you played the league's second worst scoring defense. I saw Indiana in person. Okay? Their defense has got to be shored up and shored up fast if they're going to compete. Indiana's fun to watch. But when you're giving up 40 points in the second quarter, 37 in the first, third, and fourth periods, you expect to have 151 points. All right? And if you're the worst scoring defense, you expect to surrender 151 points unless you get that dog mentality within you to stop them. Eight in a row for now means what? Huh? It means what? And the fans routinely booed Paul George every time he touched the ball. He scored 27 points last night. I don't wish this on anybody, but I have seen the trends over the years when it comes to players like Kawhi Leonard and James Harden and Paul George. The injury bug is going to hit them hard. The injury bug is going to hit them. I hate saying that aloud, but look at the trends. That's all I got to say. Look at the trends. Benedict Mathurin scored 34, season high 34 to lead Indiana. Isaiah Jackson had 15. Isaiah Jackson starting in place of Miles Turner. Tyrese Halliburton had an off night after missing Saturday's game with a bruised knee. He had 8 points, 11 assists, and 4 turnovers. And for Indiana, it's the inability to defend. It's the inability to stop teams from going on a run. It's the inability to not lock. It's the inability to lock down on defense when needed. And Coach Rick Carlisle was a defensive dynamo when he was with the Boston Celtics as a player. Did the same thing for the Dallas Mavericks and coached them to an NBA title with what? Defense. So tell me, how the hell are the Indiana Pacers, with a defensive-minded coach, the worst defensive scoring team in basketball? The worst scoring defense in the NBA. And you let this Clipper team flying high on 7 in a row, and you put up no resistance against them. None. They put up no resistance. Well, I hope the Dallas Clippers, I have a message for you. I hope the Dallas Mavericks put a foot in your painful asses and shut you up. Now, granted, I have a lot of disdain for the Dallas Mavericks because of a certain player. And that's going to be a drama. That's going to be a soap opera coming up very soon. Watch. But the Clips have won 8 in a row, and I can't, say anything ill about that. What I can say is, can they keep it up? And I don't think they can. I have a very disturbing story that was handed to me. I'll get to it when you all get back. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Back in a flash.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
And ever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. Brian Snow here with you, a.k.a. the Snowman. Hey, if you want to help us out and donate to the cause, you can do so via Cash App. The tag you need is $ Tallman Dr. K50 or $ host Cole Johnson. And coming up tomorrow, I will have all the details and the GoFundMe link live for the Snowman Stadium Tour, where the hashtags F Cancer and This One's for Jody will be live as well. We'll talk some more NFL playoffs here in a little bit. The Playmaker won't be able to make it. I had a disturbing story, but I've decided to scrap it and wait for another time to cover it because I want to follow what my executive producer put on the put on the docket today. I had to work in an extra break because my stomach was acting foolish. So, with all that, I have a question of the day, and it will do this. What was the first ever video game console you ever had? That's my question of the day. And our question of the day is brought to you by Invader Coffee. Go to invadercoffee.com. Sign up, use the code Snowman for 15% off of your order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned. That's our question of the day. And I'm going to type it up here and get it out to the masses. I can't wait to get some extra hands helping out with the show. I got Cole, I got Victor, and Shane Lake is getting himself situated. The big dog, he's going to be a part of this. But I'm going off the board, and I want to put this out to everybody. What was the first video game console you ever had? That's our question of the day. And here it is. My first video game console that I ever had was the Atari 5200. Yes, the Atari 5200. I'm old, but we had it and wore that thing out. We had it and wore that thing out. Pac-Man, freaking Centipede, just Pac-Man and Centipede alone. I think we had like 7 or 8 games. I don't remember what the others are. Anybody remember a game called Kix, Qix, where you have to draw across the screen? Not many people may remember that one. I saw that on Starcade with Jeff Edwards. And I said, Mom, I want that game. And she found it. I don't know how my parents did that stuff. It's like they perform magic. They perform magic every time. Oh, man. But what was the first video game console that you ever had? I got some text coming in now saying Nintendo. Got a text coming in on our text line saying it was Super Nintendo. If you can't make it here to the chat, you can text the text line. Many people know it already. It's 502-467-9619. That number is going to change after the new year. A lot of things are being moved right now from Snowman Multimedia Sports to our new website. I'll keep you updated on that as we go along. Back to our question of the day. What was the first video game console you ever had? And Victor's the first to respond here in the chat. He said Nintendo from my uncle with a bunch of games. I got the Nintendo also, And excuse me. When I got the Nintendo and it was in the main room, I wore out Super Mario Brothers trying to kill it and could never turn it over. I could never turn over Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario 3, I came close. I came oh so close to turning over Super Mario 3. Couldn't do it. Duck Hunt gave me the heebie-jeebies. Okay, because if y'all remember Nintendo, you had the gun, right? You had the laser gun that you could point at this. It said you could point it at the screen from anywhere and you could hit any target. That's a lie. That's a lie because they give you this little bitty ass viewfinder. Sorry for the swear. And you can't. It's like how am I supposed to see through that? How in the world am I supposed to see through that? So what? How? And then when you miss the duck, you take three. You get 3 shots at the duck on Duck Hunt, right? You get 3 shots, and if you don't hit the dog pops up and laughs at you. How many times? I know this is sick, but I'll bring it up anyway. How many times when you're playing Duck Hunt and you miss the duck and the dog laughs at you, you wanted to pick off the dog? How many times you wanted to pick off the dog, man? You just wanted to just look at that dog and go, "Why are you doity?" And you couldn't pick him off either because he would laugh at you and then duck. Right? He would laugh at you and then just go back in the bushes. And then when you see that, when you're trying to shoot the duck, right? You're trying to be more strategic, not specific, strategic in shooting the duck. But when the screen goes pink and you see the words "fly away," you're like, now what? What do I have to do to get this thing? And then they had a second game on Duck Hunt where it was clay shooting. Yeah, couldn't pick those off either. And you had to get 7 of them every time to move on to the next level. You had to get 7 of them. And if you don't get 7 of them, you lose the game. Game over. You're like, what? Can't win either way with that doggone game, but you kept playing it. Lord knows I kept playing it. I kept playing it, and I know I kept playing it. I know I kept playing it, damn it. I couldn't help it. I love video games. I love old school video games. The first one I played in an arcade was Pac-Man. And I'm talking about the old school arcade with the neon lights and the food and the skee ball and the prizes and everything. Sig Diggy joins us from Norway. Good morning, Sig Diggy. Glad to have you with us. But we're talking to our question of the day. What was the first video game console you ever had? I had the Atari 5200. But the first game I ever played in an arcade was Pac-Man. Right after that was Donkey Kong. I was going to arcades from 82 to 93 before I left for North Carolina. And couldn't find an arcade in North Carolina to save my life. Damn it! Wait, I take that back. The mall that I worked in had an arcade, but I didn't have enough time to get downstairs, play a game, and get back upstairs. I couldn't get back upstairs in time to get back to work. And this is when I had a double shift at the restaurant where I was working at. Doggone it. Anyway, that's our question of the day. It's out there. It's up there. It's out there. It's in there. See what you can do with our question of the day. Question of the day presented by Invader Coffee. Sign up at invadercoffee.com. Use the code Snowman, and you get 15% off of your order. All right. We've reached halftime here at Snowman in the morning. I have an announcement to make, and we got 49ers to talk about while we go on here. Who is the MVP of the league? It could be two people on the same team. And I have a response for Cam Newton. If you missed it last night, I'll reprise it today. The second hour of Snowman in the morning begins right after this.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you talk, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground, and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Hey! Second hour of Snowman in the morning begins right now, and it's presented by Fanatics, officially licensed everything. I said I had an announcement, and here it is. Get effective immediately. Snowman in the morning will be starting at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific time. 10 a.m. Central. That's effective immediately. The biggest reason I'm making this change is because when I pick up my daughter in the morning, and I pick her up every morning, Monday through Friday, because she works at night, we get in sometimes, depending on how much time has elapsed. We get in, I'd say, a half hour before air, or about 20 minutes before air, and it sends me into scramble mode. And then there are sometimes, like this morning, when I was late getting home because I had an 8 a.m. doctor's appointment for the wounds on my feet. And I'm going to keep those appointments at 8 a.m. now because it allows me time to do the traffic. Thank you, Sick. And it allows me to keep my doctor's appointments at 8 a.m., allows me to go get my daughter, bring her home safely. And it also allows me time to like reset and recalibrate. And also, can someone put this in the chat, please? Can someone be my scribe and put this in the chat? Snowman in the Morning is moving to 11 a.m. Eastern time, effective immediately. All right. There will be a Christmas Day show. There will be a New Year's Day show, but they will be taped. There will be some of the best segments. There'll be mostly interview segments, and they will be taped. All right. They will be taped and scheduled for Christmas Day, 11 a.m., and New Year's Day, 11 a.m. Of course, Christmas Day, we'll talk a lot about the 49ers and the Ravens, a chance for both teams to lock up the number one seeds in their respective conference. And I'll get to the 49ers here in just a moment. But it'll be mostly interview segments and a couple of best of segments for the tail end of the year. So there will be shows on Christmas and New Year's, but they will be taped. All right. We will tape those in advance. I'll let you know what's coming up on the shows there. And it just allows me time to get home, get recalibrated, make sure Sonia is safe, make sure my wife is safe, and get some breakfast, get my morning meds, and just, get me started for the day. And I get a chance to also take care of the critters that are in the house, make sure they're fed and watered, make sure I get a lot of water in me so I can really bring this to y'all the right way. So effective immediately, we are moving to 11 a.m. Eastern time. That'll be the final time change, and that's just due to scheduling. That's just due to scheduling and due to making sure my daughter gets home safe. Now, all that out the way. I have a question. Did anybody besides me think that the San Francisco 49ers would be the first team to not only clinch a playoff spot, which it did last weekend, but clinch the NFC West? Because I said at the top of the year, and I also said after the 3-game losing streak in which everyone buried us, called us frauds, I said we clinched the NFC West by week 15. Lo and behold, we've just completed week 15. And who's the first team to clinch division title? That's right. San Francisco. With their rout of the Arizona Cardinals, 45-29. Even though the defense surrendered 200 yards on the ground, even though the defense they got to Kyler Murray 3 times. I want to credit the offensive line of the 49ers in this past Sunday's game. Because for the first time this year, Brock Purdy did not get touched. He was able to throw for 242 yards, 4 touchdowns, including a spinorama to his left to find a wide open Christian McCaffrey, who caught it, fell down, got up, sprinted the other 10 yards into the end zone. This 49ers team, and they're getting reinforcements back because I watched the daily reports. I watch a couple of other channels, including my favorite, Eric Crocker. I keep up with, I'm an insider. I call myself a 49er insider. So when they get reports, I get the reports, doing some maintenance here. And they're getting reinforcements back. Javon Hargrave is slated to play Monday night, Christmas night. And Eric Armstead, who has missed the last 3 games, is slated to come back. They had 3 sacks against Kyler Murray on Sunday. So the sacks are starting to pile up. Okay? Lamar Jackson, you about to get the test of your life. Because when a healthy San Francisco 49ers defense is staring at you in the other on the other side of the ball, you better be ready to act. Now, Lamar Jackson is a fabulous talent. Fabulous. And he's getting better. Niner gang in the house. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Damn it. Niner gang, where are you watching from? Want to shout you out properly. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Let me get that piece of maintenance out of the way. Please, if you're here for the first time, my name is Brian Snow, hosting Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson live. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, share it, because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before New Year's Eve. Want to end the month the right way and get to 1,000 subscribers. So wherever you're listening from, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And our new website, Snowman Multimedia, is on the way. Dub City, San Francisco. Attaboy. Did you ever get a chance to attend a game at Candlestick Park? I've only seen Candlestick Park. I've only seen it. I never got a chance to go in it. Doggone it. And I was so mad too. I was right there and I did get a chance to go in it. I saw Stanford Stadium, but I didn't get a chance to see Candlestick Park. Back to business. I grew up here in the 80s. I love it. Did you see The Catch in person? I'm from Chicago, so I only saw it on television. But that play, The Catch, made me a 49er fan for life, even during the earthquake, 1989. Oh, man. I know that had to be a turbulent time for you. But Niner Gang, please tell other Niner fans to subscribe to the channel, because this is the channel where you get the best in 49er news on that 49er show, which will now be every Monday. In season, off season. Back to business here. No one expected San Francisco to be the first to not only clinch a playoff berth, but clinch their division. I did. Thank you, Niner Gang. Spread the word right now and get them in here. I expected it. I said they'd clinch by week 15. And nobody believed me. I bet you believe me now, don't you? Eh? But we about to have a slobberknocker against the Baltimore Ravens on Christmas night. On Christmas night, we about to get the test of our lives. On both sides, for both teams. We about to get the test of our lives. If you like the show, please support the show by dropping a Cash App to Tallman Dr. K 50. Wrong button. Try again. If you like what you see and you love what you hear, please support not only the show, but the Snow Strong Foundation and Snowman Multimedia with a Cash App. The tag you need is $ Tallman Dr. K 50. I prompted a question sometime back, and it looks like it's going to happen. Does the number 1 seed roll through Santa Clara? My answer is yes. Not just because I'm a 49er fan, but because of what I'm seeing. They won their first 5 games, lost 3 in a row, and everybody buried us. Everybody buried the 49ers, putting all the fault on Brock Purdy. And I got a couple of notes about Brock Purdy in a moment. Now we've won 6 in a row, aiming for 7 against Baltimore. And from what I just read, Let me read this right now. I found this on Twitter. The Niners only need to win 2 of the final 3 games, no matter what else happened, to clinch the number 1 seed. But they can clinch the number 1 seed as early as next week if these 4 things happen. We beat the Ravens. The Eagles lose to the Giants, which I doubt will happen. The Cowboys lose to the Dolphins, which I think will happen. And the Lions may mess around and lose to the Vikings. But all 4 of those have got to happen for the Niners to clinch the number 1 seed. What we can do, what the 49ers can do, is win 2 of their next 3 games and clinch it themselves. And we essentially hold a 3-game lead over the Cowboys and the Eagles after what happened last night in Seattle. So, yeah, the number 1 seed rolls through Santa Clara. Now, I talked about this last night on that 49ers show, and I want to be sure that I get this. That I get this in. Let's talk about MVP odds, shall we? Let's talk about the MVP odds. And the MVP race hasn't been the prettiest. Usual favorites like Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen have not played like their usual selves. The race is certainly a tight one. It is. It's very, very tight. The argument is for one Christian McCaffrey, and I'm not going to argue. I love me some Christian McCaffrey. I have since his days at Stanford, and I'm sealing up a interview here. For one of the interviews I'm going to do for the Christmas show. So the MVP odds are crazy. And you know who was the number 1 candidate for the most valuable player? A player that some guy named Cam Newton, who is jealous as all get out, says is only a game manager and not a game changer. That fellow is Brock Purdy. And he was second last week behind Dak Prescott. But Dak Prescott laid an egg in Buffalo. Brock Purdy continues to get better. He leads the league in touchdown passes with 29. Let me throw some of the numbers at you. After another strong performance, and I'm reading this courtesy of USA Today, after another strong performance against the Arizona Cardinals, the former 7th-round selection now leads the NFL in passing touchdowns with 29, passer rating with 119, yards per attempt at 9.9, and is second in NFL passing yards with 37.95, and second in completion percentage at 69.8%. His 4 passing touchdowns against Arizona were a sharp contrast to the struggles that the Cowboys' Dak Prescott faced against the Buffalo Bills, tossing 0 touchdowns and just 143 yards and completing only 54.2% of his passes. And as mentioned, Brock Purdy's going to get the test of his life against that savage Baltimore defense. Savage Baltimore defense. But let me read those numbers again. For those of you who think that Brock Purdy is not a game changer, Cam Newton, he leads the league in passing touchdowns. He has 29. He leads the league in passer rating. Whoops. Hold on a minute. There we go. That's what I needed. Had to change the direction of my heater. He leads the league in passer rating with 119, and he has led every single week in passer rating. Every week. He's led all year in passer rating. Yards per attempt, 9.9, and is second in the NFL in passing yards with 37.95. He only needs 205 yards to do something only Jeff Garcia and Steve Young has done in 49er uniforms. That's a 4,000-yard passing season. and we're only in week 16. Let me say that again. Brock Purdy needs only 205 yards for a 4,000-yard passing season. Steve Young's done it twice. Jeff Garcia has done it once. And right now, it's all about Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey as far as MVP odds go. It's all about, and they want to give the war. I know Brock Purdy. I'll say what I said last night on that 49ers show, which is a fabulous show that you need to check out. And I mean, they get more consistent with it. I'll say what I said last night. Why don't they split it, the MVP award? Because both have had great impacts on the 49ers this year. Both of them. Y'all wanted to see what Brock Purdy can do with a full season. Well, I hope you're getting your question answered. Second in passing yards, 205 yards away from a 4,000-yard season. 4,000. And he's only supposed to be a game manager? Shut up, Cam Newton. How many times have you thrown for 4,000 yards in your career? Once. Only once. Stupid fool. I don't care what anybody says. I really don't care. I really don't care what anybody says. I don't care. Okay? Brock Purdy is him. Let me use a popular lexicon, popular term. Brock Purdy is him. Okay? He is not a game manager. He is a game changer. And he has been a game changer since he came in against the Kansas City Chiefs last year. You really saw what he was about when he came in against the Miami Dolphins last year. And took us all the way to the NFC Championship game. And then Hassan Reddick made a terrific, clean play that injured Purdy and cost us the NFC Championship. Myself, along with a lot of others, wanted to see what it would be like to have Brock Purdy, to have a completely healthy team against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. Well, you got your answer. Well, you got your answer, haters. Now, I know we have a long way to go still. The Super Bowl is not until February. It is only December. But I'll be doggone if the 49ers are not on that pace to get to the Super Bowl. But they have to stay healthy and they have to play hungry, which is what they're doing right now on their 6-game winning streak. And Cameron Jarrell Newton, let me tell you something honestly. You want to say that your assessment is honest and it's going to ruffle a lot of feathers? Well, I'm about to ruffle yours. Brock Purdy is on pace to do a lot of the things that you didn't. Like, I don't know, win a Super Bowl. You know, during that 3-game losing streak, and you like to say that they're not winning because of him? Well, he took responsibility for those 3 losses. He threw 2 interceptions against the Vikings and threw 2 interceptions against the Cincinnati Bengals. He turned the ball over 6 times. You know what he did, Cam Newton? He accepted responsibility for his part in the losses. You know what else he did? Took the bye week, got healthy, got refocused, and now they've won 6 in a row. It is true with what you said about Christian McCaffrey that he is very much a game changer. Very much so. But don't you dare sell Brock Purdy short again. Because if you actually watched the game, Cam Newton, you would understand right away how much of a game changer Brock Purdy is. Now sit down and shut up. I have another reality check to dish out, and it's for Draymond Green. Back after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. You kids from the block. New edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Man, oh man. 23 after the hour. I am so sorry about that. I was sending a couple of messages and looking to get some responses and looking to get some things in place as we are effectively making a time change. It is effective immediately. We are moving from 10 a.m. Eastern to 11 a.m. Eastern. It'll allow me some time to get home, get my daughter situated, get myself situated, and some things around the house done before I come in the office and launch. And it'll allow me some extra time after the show to send the program to all of my affiliates and let them know what's going on. And I'm going to make sure I update them today. So we are going at 11 a.m. and that is effective immediately. Our Christmas and New Year's show will be taped and they will air at said scheduled time. Okay. I handed out one reality check. Now I got to hand out another one. And this one is very necessary. And it's intended for Draymond Green. Mr. Green, there is something that says, there's an old saying that says your reputation precedes you. Well, your reputation for being a bully, a bad guy, has preceded you to the point where the NBA has correctly suspended you indefinitely. Steve Kerr said the guy that does a lot for us, that's the guy that choked Rudy Gobert, the guy that starts trouble, that's the guy that needs to change. And he's dead on right. He's dead on right. Draymond Green, what the hell is wrong with you? You're in your 12th season. You're supposed to be a leader of the team. If you're one of the captains, I hope they stripped you of that captaincy because you no longer deserve it until you change your ways on the court, man. You are one of the leaders of the ball. You are one of the leaders of the ball club, and you're acting like a very petulant child. I know you're trying to protect your teammates, but leaping in and a chokehold on Rudy Gobert, no, that's not how you get it done. Your reputation precedes you for at times being a complete idiot. And this time being a complete idiot has cost you an indefinite suspension, and rightfully so. Unless you clean up your act, you ain't coming back. Okay? Now, maybe you may have cleaned up your act by Christmas Day. The Warriors need you. All right? Let me say that aloud. The Warriors need you bad. But they don't need you going off the hinge every time something happens to one of your teammates or something happens that you don't like or a foul called against you that you don't like and you argue vehemently the other way. I mean, I understand how passionate you are for the game, and that's great, but your passion tends to spill over into lunacy, idiocy, and stupidity. And that's why you are indefinitely suspended. And again, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. You have no business committing the antics that you have committed, especially 2 years ago, coming off of a championships, coming off of a championship year. Okay, coming off of a championship year. And on top of that, some of the antics you committed, especially the chokehold on Rudy Gobert, that should have netted you an indefinite suspension then, because your reputation precedes you for being an idiot at times. A complete and utter idiot. A complete and utter fool. Now I know you've begun your charity work and your rehab work, and I don't begrudge that at all. I don't. You need it. You need to calm down. You need to be focused. You need to be focused, man. How does this look in front of your teammates when you're one of the stalwarts of the team getting suspended indefinitely? How does this look in front of your family when you're one of the stalwarts and you're getting suspended indefinitely? I know how my family would look at me. They would look at me like I was a fool for being stupid. For being absolutely stupid. And you strike Yusuf Nurkic in the face, okay, along with the job you had against Rudy. Man, quit. I'll let it what my wife says. Quit that ish. This is not wrestling. This is the National Basketball Association. Though the quality has fallen. This is the NBA, man. And your teammates are depending on you to be there for them so they can execute basketball in the most beautiful style. Granted, the Warriors need some bigs to compete. You know, Nikola Jokic, hello. Got to compete with him. Got to compete with the world champion Nuggets. And I proudly say world champion Nuggets because I'm glad to see them win it all. But until you clean up your act and get back on the floor where the Warriors need you, the Warriors are stuck. This is your mess, Draymond Green, and it's your fault that you put yourself in this situation, and you had no business putting yourself in this situation by being effing stupid. What the hell were you thinking with some of the antics you pulled this early in the season? We're coming up to Christmas, and the Warriors need you. You understand me? They need you on the floor. You're more productive on the floor than off it. It's been proven for 12 years. And you want to do that? You moron. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? My gracious. Clean up your act, Draymond Green, will you please? And hurry up, clean up your act and get back on the floor and concentrate on the floor. Victor posed a question to me, and now it's coming true. Have the Warriors been flirting with fire with Draymond Green's antics in the earlier season? Yep, and they got burned up. And I wouldn't be surprised if they try to execute a trade before the trade deadline. Here's the problem. Who's going to take that contract on? Who's going to take the antics on? Draymond Green, it is best that you stay in San Francisco with the Warriors and retire with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry when they hang him up. Quit being a bully, man. Quit being stupid. The Warriors need you. This is a plea on the part of a fan and an insider. All right? I'm an insider from my own network. The Warriors need you. You're more effective on the floor than off it. I'll say it again. You're more effective on the floor than off it. You have a plethora of knowledge to offer some young folks and one who is eventually going to be your successor. Quit being stupid, okay? Just quit being freaking stupid. Because if you don't quit being stupid, the Warriors are going to miss the playoffs, and it's going to be your fault. Everything's going to be pointed right at your eyes, and people are going to be poking fingers at your chest because you were too damn stupid to keep your head together. Good Lord. Get it together, Draymond Green. Please. Please. Get back to where you were a few years ago when you weren't being this stupid, out-of-control bully. And you were just playing basketball with two of the best in the business. Please. I beg of you, take this reality check, put it in your mind, and get your act together. Whew. Now that I got that off my chest, I have a few things to say about the Chargers, and I'll say it correctly, the San Diego Chargers. Brandon Staley, finally, you fired! Get the hell out and stay out. My thoughts on the Chargers when y'all get back.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again. Jason
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pistol 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
The incomparable Chris Bays. Bodie! Sorry, can't help it. Okay. 36 after the hour. And the San Diego Chargers, give me this button here, have finally done something. The mistake is not fully corrected, but they finally fired Brandon Staley. Finally. You know, I'm handing these out like candy. I may as well hand out one more. Hey, Chargers, take one of these. I begin with the question.
What in the all types of blue hell
were you thinking when you hired Brandon Staley? Did you actually think that the analytics king would take your team somewhere? Did you actually think that? Why? What the hell were you? What the hell were you thinking? Well, did you think Brandon Staley would turn into Eric Coryell or Bobby Ross, a coach that actually took them to a Super Bowl? Let me speak on the Chargers overall. Okay, let me speak on the Chargers overall. Y'all have sucked since you left San Diego. Since you stupidly, let me say that again. Since you stupidly left San Diego. Hey, give me this cup here. And I'm trying to find something here to have as some background music. You stupidly, and I say it again, you stupidly left San Diego, and for what? And for what? To pay to be a tenant in a place where you don't belong? People don't care. Listen, people don't care about the Chargers. Hell, in many ways, people don't care about the doggone Rams. There, I found the song I'm looking for. People don't care about the doggone Rams. If Dean Spanos had enough balls to go back home to San Diego, he could write his check, man. He could write it. Man, there would be such a welcome parade for the Chargers. Do you know how much of a party it would be and how much better the Chargers would be in San Diego? And yes, Victor, I'm playing the Supercharger song in the background. They were always the San Diego Chargers to me. Okay? Now, I started watching football in 1980, and they were one of the first games I watched when they played the Oakland Raiders for the AFC Championship. Hell, Chargers made 2 consecutive AFC championships. Beat the Steelers. Yes, all as the San Diego Chargers. This don't feel right at all. Them being in Los Angeles and with a heck of a coach named Brandon Staley, who finally got fired and the GM finally got sent packing. You have a chance to find a real coach. And you also have a chance to have some nerve and go home to San Diego. Dadgummit. What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, Chargers? You're below the redheaded stepchild in Los Angeles. I mean, they don't even like the damn Rams. Do you know how many fans overrun SoFi Stadium? How many visiting team fans overrun SoFi Stadium? And there are two teams in Los Angeles. But I will say something that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but it's honest. Thank you, Cam Newton. That stadium was not built for the Rams and the Chargers. That stadium was built for the Rams and the Raiders. That stadium was built for the Rams and the Raiders. It was the Raiders that was supposed to turn to Los Angeles after everything happened in Oakland, and they basically shoved them out the door. But then Las Vegas ponied up $500 million to get the Death Star, a.k.a. Allegiant Stadium, built. It was supposed to be the Los Angeles Raiders, not the Los Angeles Chargers. And they tried to adjust on the fly. Hell, the Chargers had to play in a 30,000-seat soccer stadium, for God's sakes, before they moved in as a temporary tenant to SoFi Stadium. And I'll keep saying it. It was supposed to be the Rams and the Raiders. That was supposed to be the Rams and the Raiders, not the Chargers. General Manager Tom Telesco is gone too. Who told that hack he could run a team? I mean, I'm running out of words. I mean, and they finally get rid of Brendan Staley after they allow 63 points against the Raiders, against the Oakland Raiders, against the Los Angeles Raiders on Thursday Night Football. 63 points. They're 5-9 right now, and they got no chance of making the playoffs. The Chargers have made the playoffs only 3 times since Telesco became the general manager in 2013. 3! Jeff Smith is the interim head coach. He's been with the Chargers since 2016 as a defensive line coach for 6 seasons and the team's outside linebackers coach the last 2 seasons. He's also coached for the Bills and the Titans. He has coached some big names, including Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. The interim GM is JoJo Wooden. He joined the Chargers in 2013 to oversee their scouting departments. Do we actually know these people? Listen, Chargers, this season is done. It's cooked. It's in the wash. Now your time is to go out and scout some names that will bring fans back to the Chargers. And you know what I'd do? if I was in charge of the Chargers, I'd tell LA, F you, I'm going back home to San Diego. I'd march right into the Bears office and say, what would it take for us to get a stadium to get it done? I got the money. And then plaster San Diego with the return of the Chargers. Because the way it's going right now, the Chargers are going to be do nothing but CTD. Circle the drain. They're going to do nothing but circle the drain unless they get some football in, unless they get some football people in there and fix that doggone thing. You lost your quarterback for the season. Justin Herbert's going with an injury. I think it's it's a broken finger. Easton Stick is your quarterback for the rest of the year. May as well see what he does, but keep him as a backup. You need a running back because Austin Eckler ain't it anymore. You need an identity. Okay? You need an identity. And you ain't got it. You need an identity and you don't have it. You just don't have it. And I got to honor a request. Even though YouTube will zap me every time I play this, I really don't care anymore. I really don't care. Since none of my videos are going to be officially monetized, I'll just have to monetize it my way, which is by getting sponsors. And while I'm talking about getting sponsors, if you want to sponsor us, drop an email to snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com or give us a call at 317-762-8567. That's 317-762-8567. But Victor made a request pertaining to Telesco and Brendan Staley getting fired. And I can't find the clip I'm looking for. Dang it. But it's about time. Okay, I found it. It's about time those two got kicked out of the whip. Kicked out of Los Angeles. And I hope no one ever takes a chance on them again. But Victor Locke, this is for you. There. That's for you, Victor. One more break, and then we'll do a Q&A. Let's have some fun with the fans. Snowman in the morning. The late starting edition, which is now the permanent time starting edition. All that good stuff. We'll go through the church announcements again, and then we'll do a Q&A, and then we'll get on out of here. Back in a flash.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
All right, we're a few minutes away from getting out of here, but I want to send a special shout out to a beautiful lady who has been like a mother to me since I met her at Trinity International. Her name is Kim Turk, and she is the proud mom of a wide receiver I had fun covering at TIU. His name is Dylan Turk, and I named him the Hawaiian Turk because that is their home state. It is Hawaii, and I want to send a special shout out to them, to my little brother, the Hawaiian Turk, and my Mama Turk. I love you both. I hope y'all are doing well, and I hope we can get together soon because y'all need to meet the woman who saved my life, and of course that is Jody. All right, I love you guys. Okay, we got a few minutes left in the program, so drop your questions in the chat. I'll try to answer them. We got about 3 minutes left. Yeah, we got about 3 minutes left, and I got one on the text line right now that says, what do you think the 49ers would do if they were to play the Eagles again? Well, I know it would be another blowout. Gauntlet or not, it'll be another blowout because you're facing a hungry 49er team. I said that earlier in the program. You're facing a very hungry 49er team. And when I say hungry, I'm talking about they took the anger of losing the NFC Championship last year and they propelled it into this year. Now, granted, they had 3 big hiccups, the loss at Cleveland, at Minnesota, and to Cincinnati at Levi's. But be that as it may, they're hot. The 49ers are the hottest team in football right now. They are the hottest team in football right now. And they're about to face another hot team in the Baltimore Ravens in a Christmas night matchup. Another one on the text line. Do you think that the Ravens and 49ers are going to provide a Super Bowl preview on Christmas night? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because you're talking about the 2 best teams. Let me tell you why I think Baltimore is going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. I don't trust Miami. Okay, they're all gas, no brake, but when they slide down a hill, they slide and they crash. And I have a feeling they're about to crash. I don't trust the Buffalo Bills because they rarely use their running game. Notice I didn't say never. I said rarely. They have a running back in James Cook. They need to use him. Everybody else in the AFC, Jacksonville included, are chasing the Baltimore Ravens. And as I said, as far as the AFC playoff picture goes, Houston and Indianapolis could decide the AFC South title, but that's week 18. We're only in week 16. Another one on the text line. Do you think it's fair for the NBA to suspend Draymond Green indefinitely? Yes, I do. I said it earlier in the show. Until Draymond Green cleans up his act, finally and permanently, he does not come back. And the Warriors need him. So I would think he would want to clean his act up quickly and show the folks in charge that I know what I need to do. You would think that. I have a Cowboys question here, and the question goes like this. Can the Cowboys obtain the number 1 seed in the NFC? Unless the 49ers drop off the planet, the answer is no. The Cowboys, for me, have been too wildly inconsistent. They've been so inconsistent it's not even funny. Okay? They've been awful. I mean, yeah, they beat up the Eagles. All right? They survived the Seahawks. But when are they going to prove it on a national stage? And I'm talking about, well, they did it on Sunday Night Football, so that takes that out of the equation. But for me, as far as the Cowboys go, my answer is January. Because the last 2 Januaries, they lost to the same team. Know who that team was? The San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers are who they lost to. And until they clean that up, forget it. Ain't no way in hell they're going to get that number 1 seed. Which means, should it come to pass that an NFC championship brews between the Cowboys and the 49ers, guess what? Y'all got to come to California. And you're going to get your ass kicked again. Because the Dallas Cowboys are just plain scared to play the San Francisco 49ers. Never mind what Micah Parsons says. Laugh now, cry later. Oh, yeah? Do something about it on the field. Now, I love you, Micah Parsons. You're dynamite. You're dynamite as a player. But keep your mouth closed until you beat the 49ers on the field. Period. End of story. That's that. And that's that for me. I hope y'all enjoyed this late arriving edition of Snowman in the Morning. Don't forget our time change is now permanent, effective today. We will begin the party at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And as far as the Brian Snow Show goes, that will come at 5 p.m. Eastern beginning Monday, January 8th. I love y'all very much. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. And tomorrow is Bronze Sexual Wednesday. I am out of here. I got to go do another podcast. I got to edit this one. Watch the YouTube page for an audio replay of this show and the segments therein. Let me get out of here. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great one, everybody.